Hey everybody, Jim Chester coming to you live here from Costa Mesa, California. We are at Cal Jam. How many years is this?
This is number 6 for me.
And this is year 13 for this event.
I cannot wait for more of the magic to come at Cal Jam. There's no place like this. Like you said, it's buzzing.
So after being here, you've been speaking now. This is your how many in a row?
This is my third time's a charm this year, yeah.
So let's give them kind of like a preemptive on what your talk is going to be like tomorrow.
So this year is Woodstock, and I tend to be more Hulk, a little more in your face. So I'm going to channel my inner namaste with all the fire and with all the heart. My biggest thing is we've got the principle, we know the truth, but we tend to play not quite at our potential or nowhere near our potential. So it's time to get in the game. It's time to drop the excuses. We are literally at the time that they were at Woodstock. It's about medical freedom, and it is about chiropractors owning who we are, what we do, and leading the way that we know we can.
That's very impressive to hear, because I know that this place is a culmination of talent. And this place, if you guys didn't know, today is Valentine's Day. So is there anybody you'd like to say Valentine's special to?
Well, of course, my husband, Dr. Joey, is here with me, hand in hand, like we always go, but also to my babies. I mean, if I'm here with all of these fabulous people, I don't bring the whole 5 wrecking crew. So happy Valentine's Day to Roman and Jagger and Knox, Magnolia and Phoenix, my little rat pack that'll be tuning in. But, I mean, the love goes out to all the doctors and CAs that are here in the game this weekend, because if you're not here, you're missing out.
And if you aren't here, go to caljam.org and watch the live stream on the Cal Jam Network. And if you didn't register for 2021, you can also go to caljam.org and you can pre-register for 2021 and get early bird tickets. So that's a really cool thing for us to mention. One of the things I really pride myself on is sending love and compassion and appreciation for Mary Jane and Billy D. Let's talk about them and their team a little bit.
Yeah. So I brought some of our feathers from Wichita to Mary Jane. So I just bumped into her in the hallways. The hours, the restless nights, they've traveled all over the country to create one day, 2 days, and their team is all heart. You would never tell it. When I registered last night, they all know me by name. Our whole team comes in. They're so kind. They're so over the top. And it's because Billy is exactly who he says he is. He lives for this stuff. And so the energy and enthusiasm that you see him post when he's talking about surfing or snowboarding or Cal Jam, it's real. And so when he takes that stage and he's got the guitar, we all go with him in this beautiful dance. And yeah, I mean, I'm so grateful for what they've done, because it's created so much momentum in chiropractic.
And it's featured you to an effect now that you put your own show on. Yeah. You have your own weekend that you put on. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So you asked me how many times I've been here. My first one was about 7 years ago, and my best friend had just been diagnosed with a brain tumor, and he was in his time of transition. And I came here looking for the answers, because all of these bright, shiny people take the stage and they pour their hearts, and you get all this wealth of a variety of diverse speakers. And I came back so inspired, and I came back and I sat with him and held his hand and told him about all the things. And he said, I just remember the intensity of him crying with me that day and saying, Debbie, you got to tell them. You got to tell the world. They don't know about this, and these places are so important. And so I was a Cal Jam addict. I came back. It kept me connected to him, but it wasn't enough. I mean, you travel to all these different events, but I come back home and I wake up and I have to go back to my practice, to my people, and they didn't get to feel this. And I got to this point where I got really heavy, and I was like, that's it. I'm going to bring it. I'm going to bring my type of Cal Jam back to my hometown. So the big idea is half chiropractic and half general public, moms, dads, our practice members, and we do the same type of Tony Robbins high vibe music, but speaking the truth to the general public.
I think it's so important too, because we can have this feeling of I love chiropractic day in, day out, but a lot of people just don't get it. They don't know. One of my big lines is most people just don't know where to go or who to trust.
Right. Well, and they don't get it because I don't think we're super great at telling it. I don't think that we've reached the point where we speak truth in a way that everybody can grasp onto it. You go to, I mentioned Tony Robbins, he's speaking a very similar light and principle, but in a way that people can understand it. And it's our normal, and it's abnormal in the world. So we've got to learn to speak human.
And one of the things I'm going to share is a good friend of mine, Roberto Monaco. He says if we don't tell our story, someone else will tell it for us. So what's happening now is there's these other factions in the world, maybe a Tony Robbins, which we have a lot of admiration and love for, but there's other people now are pre-packaging the chiropractic message and calling it whatever they want to because chiropractors aren't owning it.
It's ancient truth, right? Power that made the body heals the body. The answers come from within, not without. So we are at a pivotal time in humanity where people want the power back. They don't want pills, they don't want outside answers, they want their power back. Well, who better to lead that movement than my chiropractic people? So y'all, it's time for us to step up.
Amen. So at this point in the interview, I like to ask you, is there anything that we didn't cover that you'd like to share with our audience today?
I mean, I would love, because you've been to so many, I would love to know what your favorite element of CalJam is. What keeps you coming back?
Well, first and foremost, when I was researching the chiropractic profession 5 years ago to make a film, I came across this crazy guy named Billy DeMoss. And I started watching these YouTube videos and I saw this guy, Billy, like just unfiltered, raw, talking about like why it's important to get kids adjusted. Yeah. And when I saw what it was like for him to like tell this truth, it almost brought me to the edge of tears. Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to do everything that I can in my lifetime to help this man. Yeah. So that's why I keep coming back. I didn't realize that he had Mary Jane in his life. I didn't realize he had a team of people. I didn't realize that he used to be like coaching with Fred Schofield. I didn't realize anything about the guy, but I'll tell you what I did is I started sharing something of Billy's every day for about a month straight. You know what happened then? He's like, who the hell is this Jim Chester guy? Yeah. So I knew that the gateway was knocking on the door, and I was like, well, if I just keep on like sharing his content, eventually he's going to send me a message and wonder who the hell I am. So that's why I've come every year since that point, and that's why we keep coming back. We've featured him in 2 of our films, and I just fell in love with his devotion to tell people the truth without worrying about whether they like him or not. Because if we don't tell people what the truth is, then people, like I said, will make up one about us.
And the authenticity, like you said, and I know the line that you're talking about, if you don't see kids, you suck. And I was just opening my own practice when I watched him on stage say that, and I hear that echo in my head when I'm at Walmart, when I'm at the grocery store, when I see a child in need, I hear, if you don't tell them, you suck. And so I became unafraid to be that authentic, genuine voice of truth because of Billy DeMoss and CalJam, and it hooked me, and I'm back every year and not stopping. So yeah, I'm just grateful to the whole community that comes together. Like you said, there's a whole diverse, that I think is unparalleled at CalJam. It doesn't matter who you are, how you practice, where you're at in the country, you're welcome here. Everybody stands, we're dancing, we're hugging. It's like family coming together. There's no judgment. It's, yeah.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for doing the spot with me today. I'm going to go ahead and close out and tell people, if you didn't make it to CalJam 2020, go to caljam.org and register yourself for 2021. And who else should they bring besides themselves?
So your team. CA, so this is the first year I've come and my team couldn't come with me, and I feel like I don't have my right and left hand. So Jess and Jamie, that is my other Chiro Valentines shout out. My girls, they're my Chiro wives. I mean, I spend more time with them than my husband sometimes. So do not come here without your spouse and your team.
And if you found some value in this, hashtag value in the comments, and just do us a big favor. Hit that share button and share this with your page so more people know about what CalJam is, because when we were interview chatting, we said, yeah, we get it. We know what this is, but there's a lot of people that don't know this. So we have to just keep on turning the crank, as they say in the Gonstead era. We just got to keep turning the crank and get more people the knowledge of what CalJam really is. Give us some hearts up, give us some thumbs, and we're just so happy to be here together. I'm going to go ahead and close out them. You guys are just one story away. Keep hustling. We'll see you guys in the next one.